Hey, welcome back to HipHop Noise. A recent study found that murder is the cause of over 50% of American hip-hop musician deaths. The study noted that this figure refers primarily to premature deaths because most hip-hop artists have not yet lived long enough to fall into the highest risk ages for heart and liver-related illnesses. In this video, we're going to talk about men who killed rappers: Pop Smoke, Lil Snupe, and LA Capone. Make sure you watch till the end, because the last one is by far the worst. First off, two young men and two teenage boys were charged with killing rap artist Pop Smoke during a robbery at a Hollywood Hills home in the beginning of the year 2020. The boys were aged 15 and 17 when they were charged with murder and robbery in juvenile court, according to the district attorney's office. Their names were withheld because they were underage. The LAPD initially arrested 3 adults and 2 teenagers in connection with the shooting. The third adult suspect has not been charged in Pop Smoke's murder, but they will face murder and attempted murder charges for an unrelated series of shootings in South LA. Officers first went to 2033 Hercules Drive in Hollywood Hills at about 4 a.m. in response to a 911 call. There, they found the mortally injured rapper who was pronounced dead at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center. LA police said that investigators believe the men and boys entered Jackson's short-term rental home and shot and robbed him inside. The investigators believe that the suspects are members of an LA street gang. LAPD Captain Steve Lurie said that the 911 call that brought police to Hercules Drive came from someone on the East Coast who stated that a friend's house was being broken into by multiple suspects, and one of them was armed with a handgun. When officers arrived there approximately 6 minutes later, they discovered a victim inside the house had been shot. They called the fire department, who arrived and transported the victim to Cedars-Sinai, where he was pronounced dead. The suspects were wearing masks and were last seen running from the home and possibly getting into a nearby vehicle. Officers detained several people who were inside the house, according to Lurie, but all those folks were released. No one was arrested while police were at the scene. According to various media reports, the up-and-coming New York rapper posted photos earlier in February from a party at the home, even revealing the address. And one of those photos showed a person holding a large sum of money. Property records indicate the home where the shooting occurred is owned by Teddy Mellencamp, who appears on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and is the daughter of musician John Mellencamp. Pop Smoke released an album in July 2019, and one of the songs, Welcome to the Party, was considered by many to be the song of the summer. Nicki Minaj did a remix of the song a few months later, and the rapper also collaborated with Travis Scott on a song called Gotti. Pop Smoke's posthumous debut album, Shoot for the Stars, Aim for the Moon, was released earlier this year. The Brooklyn drill pioneer was known for his collaborations with UK drill artists including 808 Mello, Yaz, Swerve, and Axel, whose music he found on YouTube. Corey Walker and Keandre Rogers were expected to be arraigned earlier this year on capital murder charges stemming from the February killing of the 20-year-old Pop Smoke. A special circumstance allegation that the murder was committed during a commission of a robbery and burglary means that if convicted as charged, Walker and Rogers would be eligible for the death penalty. Prosecutors will decide later whether or not to pursue the death penalty or life in prison without possibility of parole. These two are also facing gang and gun allegations. Another rapper who was killed unfortunately is none other than lil Snupe. According to Louisiana police, Snupe was gunned down in an early morning dispute which turned into a robbery and homicide. He was shot and killed early Thursday morning, June 20th in Winfield, Louisiana. Winfield is located about an hour north of Alexandria in the heart of the state. It's not immediately known why Snupe was in the small town. Sources told Billboard that the artist may have been living in Baton Rouge, while some previous articles written about the young guy had listed Jonesboro as his hometown. In freestyle raps posted online, Snupe has name-dropped 225, the Baton Rouge area code. From the information that we could find online, Snupe's net worth was estimated at about $500,000. Police identified Tony D. Holden as a suspect in the killing. The Winfield City Police Department said that they responded to calls of a shooting at the Maplewood Apartments just after 4 a.m. Lil Snupe was found with 2 gunshot wounds in his chest and was declared dead at the scene. Winfield Police Chief Johnny Ray Carpenter said that Tony Holden turned himself in. He was booked into the city jail on charges of first-degree murder, armed robbery, and illegal possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. No bond has been set for his release. It was not immediately known whether Holden has an attorney. According to police, Holden is considered armed and dangerous and has relatives and or associates in Winfield and other parts of the country. Holden has previously been in trouble with the police for charges related to cocaine, as well as charges of rape, second-degree kidnapping, and aggravated battery with a dangerous weapon. The hip-hop community will remember lil Snupe as an up-and-coming rapper who was making the most of his big break. The 18-year-old rapper met Meek Mill during his tour, managing and passed him a demo tape. The rap hopeful told MTV that Meek was in a van and they're about to pull off. He went up, knocked on the window, and they let it down. They grabbed the mixtape, and 10, maybe 20 minutes later, they called Snoop. The mixtape made a quick impression on Meek Mill, who signed Snoop to his label within the hour. According to Meek, Snoop was spitting so much pain, and he's from the South with a flow like an East Coast guy. He was talking that talk that Meek can relate to, so Meek saw potential in Snoop. But Meek apparently tried hard to get Snoop away from bad influences, writing in a tweet that was later deleted. Police said lil Snoop was killed in a dispute over a video game, refuting earlier claims that he'd been killed over a dice game. Another unfortunate rapper who was murdered is none other than L.A. Capone. A man has been sentenced to 45 years in prison for the shooting death of the Chicago rapper named Leonard L.A. Capone Anderson outside a Southside recording studio in 2013. Miko Buchanan pled guilty November 2nd to 2 counts of murder before Judge Morris Slattery Boyle, according to Cook County court records. L.A. Capone, a member of 600 gang with Lil Durk, lost his life on September 26, 2013, only 25 hours before becoming a legal adult. He died as a child that only wanted his mom to bake him a homemade chocolate cake for his birthday. Dang. While leaving the studio after recording music, he walked outside around 6 p.m. and he was dead 2 hours later. Anderson, who rapped under the moniker L.A. Capone, was struck in the lower back and right thigh and died a short time later. On September 26, 2013, L.A. Capone went to look for his boys that were supposed to meet him down the street. Someone knew that he was at the studio and knew when his ride was picking him up. As he was walking down an alley near 70th Street and Stony Island Avenue, he was approached and was attacked by an assailant on foot without any anticipation or realization that he was walking for the last time. The beautiful little boy in dreads just looked up, and 4 shots were soon fired. That was the end of his night, and he became a tragedy in a never-ending gang war. The bullets tore into his flesh, biting him in the thigh and the lower back. Lil Durk, who had been friends and another member of 600 with him, was on Twitter that night asking people to pray for L.A. Capone. While they tweeted prayers, he let them know that their praying was in vain. Lil Durk's wishes for L.A. Capone to get better, well, they went unanswered. Lil Durk later tweeted, "Rest in peace, lil bro," in Capone's Twitter around 8 p.m. Who destroyed that baby's life? And now, who should pay the price? Killing another child in Chief Keef's crew will not change the fate of L.A. Capone. We are told never to snitch, and to that, we do agree. But when a child is involved, man, shouldn't that change the rules? Shoot, I gotta go take a break now because I'm pissed. I'll see you next time.